Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. This is Arif. In this video, we are going to see how we can find the most frequent element in an array, first in C++ and then in C Sharp. And first, we are going to see how we can do it without using the unordered map or the dictionary. And that is the version of the unordered map in C Sharp. And then we are going to see how we can use the dictionary or the unordered map of the C++, how we can use these to get the most frequent element in an array. So this is a C++ program first, and in this we have included this IO stream to get our input and output, and this is our main program. In this we have defined first a variable which is of type integer, and this is going to give us our total count of that the element which is going to be the most frequent. And then this is the second variable which is also of type the integer, and this is going to give us that element which is the most frequent element in our array. Then we have defined here a small array which has just 4 elements, and the most frequent element in this is 1. And after that we have defined here the size variable, and this is going to give us the total size of our arrays. And then after that we have defined here a for loop, and we are going to run this for loop over our total array. This is the size of the array, so for the whole size of the array this for loop is going to run and give us those elements. After that we have defined inside this for loop the local variables, which is the temporary count and the temporary element. These we are going to use first inside our for loop, and these are going to give us our temporary count and the elements once this for loop is going to run over the whole array. And then we are going to use these to get our final value and the final the element. After that we are going to run this for loop which is going to be inside this for loop. And here actually we are saying this for loop is giving us our each element, and those elements we are going to store inside this temporary element variable one by one. And after that we are going to run this for loop again over our array. And then here we are going to check inside this for loop we have this conditional statement, the if statement. So we are going to say that if our element, which is the current element, is going to be equal to the element which we are checking, like for example through this for loop we are checking the first element, and then we are going to run this for loop inside this to check each element against this first element. And we are going to say that if the first element is equal to any element of our array, then we are going to increase our this count from 0. We are starting here, and this is temporary count. We are going to count that the frequency of that element. And after that we are going to say that we are going to finish this for loop, and we are going to say we have defined again a conditional if statement, and we are going to say that if our count related to that element, which is for example first element of the array, so if that element's count is greater than the whole count of our program, which is like our global variable inside our main program, like this one. So this is initially 0. So if that count is greater than which we got from here, our this count, then it is going to replace our initial count with that new value. So we are going to get the new value here and store in our this count variable, which is 0 at this time. And after that we are going to say that put whatever the element we have So this is our temporary element and we are going to store that inside this element. So only if the count of that variable is greater than like our total count, then we are going to store that element into this main global variable element, this one. After that we are going to keep repeating it, like for example in our case, like first element has 3 count, right? And the second element would get the only one frequency. So in that case the temporary count would be only 1, and once it is going to check, okay, the total count is 3 and the temporary element has only 1 count, then it is not going to apply that. So once 1 is stored in our this element, so it is not going to change with a 2, only because the count of 2 is less than. So this whole conditional statement won't be true. So this way we can actually get our most frequent element. Okay, this is our complete program. And now I am going to, so this is without actually using the maps or the dictionary. And finally, we are going to use this std out code line to get our frequent element using this. And then we are going to check its count as well, that how many times the count was there. So this is our complete program. Let's build and run this program. So we can see the frequent element is 1 and its count is 3. So our array is running fine. Now actually I can show you that how we can actually, I can show you that we can use the lesser variables as well. For example, this count variable we are going to keep, but this variable we can skip even. Like here we are just putting our each variable in a temporary variable, whatever we are getting from the array in a temporary variable, and here we are actually comparing that temporary variable, right? But we can directly use whatever we are getting from this for loop, which is this. So we can compare it with this one directly. Like for example, we can say that no need to get this temporary element, and then we are going to skip this line and we are going to directly actually compare this variable with this variable. So we can use either this variable here and this variable here, so doesn't matter in this equal equals the operator which I have in this case. Okay, and then we are going to skip this line as well. So we can directly actually put whatever is inside our this variable which we are getting from this for loop, the main for loop, we can store that into our element. So now let's build and run this program. So we are going to see the same output. This variable I just defined in order to explain this program more. And now I am going to show you that this is actually without our using map. So now I am going to show you how we can run the same program using the unordered maps. So whatever we are going to have from in our array, we can store those into our maps and use that map. So now I have included these lines. So what we are doing here, we are saying we have defined here an unordered map which is named elements, and then we are going to here run this for loop like this, and inside this for loop this is the code statement. What this code statement is going to do is that this for loop is going to run and it is going to take each element of our array, right? And then so it is going to store whatever is in our array and its frequency, like each element and their frequency inside this map. So this map is going to have two types, like this is key and this is value, right? So whatever is the element is going, we are going to store that inside our key, and whatever is its like frequency we are going to store inside this second integer type, right? And then after that we are going to run through that this our map. We are going to use this for loop. We are going to run this for loop our whole over our whole map, and then we are going to say that if our global variable, which is like again count variable, we are going to say that if this is less than second, so second is going to be our count, whatever we are counting, like, okay, and this is going to be the main element, this is going to be its count. So its count we are going to get here like this using this for loop frequency, and we are going to say that if that element's count which we are going to put here is greater than our global variable count, which is going to be initially 0, then we are going to say, okay, put the element which is going to be the first, this one variable. So we are going to say put that in our global variable element. We are going to get the element like 1 in our case, and after that we are going to say that put its count, which is going to be the second value here. Like in the case of 1, we have 1 3 times, so 3 would be here and 1 would be here. We are going to say put the count of our 1 here, which is 3. So this is the way we are going to see run the same thing, and then we are going to, again, these code lines would stay same. So this is our complete program. So let's try and build and run this program. We are going to see the same output. 1 and 3 count is there. So this is 1 is the most. Now we can actually try a bigger array. We say, okay, we are going to change our array. So I am now using this array. So let's build and run this program and see our output changes or stays same. So 5 is actually 6 times, so it is going to give us 5 element and its count is 6. So this is the most frequent element, and this is its frequency in the array. And now actually I am going to show you that here we are actually getting the size of our array. I can show you this size we can calculate like this as well. So we have skipped this code line, we are including this code line. This is, we are going to use the pointers to get the size of our array. Let's build and run this program. So we are going to see the same output. Now actually I can show you here one more thing to do. So here we are actually getting our elements and their frequency instead of this for loop. We can run another this for loop in a different manner as well. We can use this one. So these both are going to do the same thing. These are going to give us our elements of our array and their frequency. So this way we can also run this. These are going to be the same. So we can see the program behaves like this. Now I am going to skip over to our C# program, and we are going to see how we can do the same stuff in C#. So this is a C# program. Here I am giving this system library, and inside this main program I have defined here again a count variable which is of type int, which is going to give us our final count of our most frequent variable. This is going to give us our most frequent variable, and then after that, this is the way to define an array inside the C#, and then this is actually the array length we are going to get on this code line on the same pattern. After that we are going to say run the for loop of our array, first for loop, and then we are going to define the same temporary element, count, which is going to give us one by one the count of each element in our array. And here we are getting that element, and we are going to put that in our temporary element. After that, we are going to run another for loop, and then this for loop is going to compare our first element with the whole array. So we are going to say, okay, this is the first element we are getting, and we are going to say check if this element is equal to any element in our array, any other element. And then we are going to say keep increasing its count as well. So 1 is going to get 3 count here. 2 is going to get, in this case, 1 count here. After that, we are going to say use this conditional statement if we are going to say if our count, temporary count, which we are getting here, is greater than our main count, which is going to be initially 0, then we are going to say put the temporary count inside our global variable count and make that count equal to this count. And then we are going to say, okay, whatever element we have, we should store inside our global variable. This is the way we are going to keep repeating for each element, and then we are going to get the most frequent element using this if condition. And then after that, we are going to print that using the right line, this most frequent variable, and then its count. This is our complete program. Let's build and run this program. So we are going to see most frequent element is 1, its count is 3. Now I am going to show you that how we can use. So this is the process again without using a dictionary, which is the just the same as like the unordered map of C++. So we are going to use now the dictionary, and we are going to check how we can run the same program using the dictionary inside C#. So we are going to skip these code lines, and we are going to include these code lines. So now we are going to use the dictionary, and we are going to say this as the elements, and we are going to inside these elements we are going to store the elements of our array and the count as well. The elements we are going to store here in the key, and the count we are going to store inside the second int. So this is going to be the value. So this for each loop we are going to run our on our whole array like this, and this is an temp count variable, and we are going to initially put that count into 0, and this variable we are going to use inside this whole line here. So for each value, the element of our array, we are going to get its count, and then we are going to keep increasing that count here one by one. And after that, we are going to put that count inside our this one value, try get value we are using. So this is going to do the same behavior which we were doing inside our C++ program as well. So after that, we are going to run this second for loop. For each loop, and then in this for each loop we are going to use this if statement again to put whatever count we are going to get first, and then it's the element of that count as well. So now we are going to say that we are going to iterate through our whole elements of our dictionary, and we are going to say that if the value of our element, which is going to be the count, this count we are getting to this value again. So we are going to say that if the count of that variable is greater than our initial count, then increase, like put whatever we have count here inside this. Through this for loop we are going to get the count of each element, and then we are going to say put the that element which is going to be the key in this case inside our global variable. So this is the way we are going to put each element and its count inside these two variables only if their count is greater than our previous elements count, like using this if conditional statement. And then these code lines are going to be same. And now I am going to show you our output. So we are going to see the same output. So this is the way actually we can do the same stuff without unordered maps or dictionaries and with those. Also, instead of this code line, I can skip this one. This code line is actually equivalent to this one. There are two ways actually. So now if I am going to run this program, we are going to see the same output. So these are just like equivalent to each other. I don't know why in this program this time these lines keeps shifting over to, so this is the way actually the code is going to look more proper. Yes, and now I am going to show you a bigger array and its result so that everything is okay. And this is going to be bigger array element. We are going to get this 5 in this case, and its count is 6. So this is the way actually we can get the most frequent element of our array in C++ and in C# using the maps or the dictionary or without those. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Have fun.